everyone. Welcome into the Sporty Show. Happy Tuesday, and thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you here. We have some Serie A action today. We have some Premier League action today. So lots and lots to discuss as this midweek action will carry us into the weekend. There is never a drought in football. I'm your host, as always, Sara, and I'm joined by the one, the only, Mr. KlintonCod.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Y'all doing all right? As usual, like she said, it's your boy KlintonCod, and we are back here to take you on that flight. Atalanta, my boy Ademola Lookman is about to make me scream.
Pause.
You know what I mean by scream, right? Okay. But anyways, let me introduce you to Alex. Right. I know that didn't come out properly, but yes, people that have sense, I know you understand. Sara, please stop.
What did you mean? I don't.
No, listen, no, Alex, not even you, please. Ademola Lookman is going to make me shout on my TV. Like, right, okay, that.
Better.
He's gonna do well, and you're gonna be pleased for him.
Yeah, okay. That's the better way to say it. Okay, absolutely.
We all know
But
what you meant.
I mean, I was supposed to be introducing this young man, but he's pretty much introduced himself. So it's Alex Ashma as usual. Alex, what's up? What's going on, man?
Exciting week of. I always love having football in the midweek like this because if there's no Champions League, it always feels like a bit of a drought. You know, it's only 3 days, but I'm liking this midweek Premier League action, City A action, Bundesliga.
Copa del Rey tomorrow.
Exactly. There's lots to entertain us.
Yeah, lots and lots. And as always, we have a lot on SportyTV this week. In fact, we do have the Serie A, Atalanta and Juve match on SportyTV this evening. So make sure you stay tuned to find out what Ademola Lookman is all about. Tomorrow we have Wellington versus Sydney FC and Bundesliga match Bayern Munich taking on Hoffenheim. On Thursday we have Al Ittihad versus Al Raid and Real Madrid versus Olympiacos in the EuroLeague basketball. I'm stuck here. On Friday, we have Western versus Central Coast, Al Tawoun versus Al Nassr and Cristiano Ronaldo, Burnley versus Sunderland in the EFL Championship, and Saturday again, Adelaide versus Melbourne, Cardiff versus Swansea, and it's Brentford taking on Liverpool in the Premier League this week. Leverkusen taking on Borussia Mönchengladbach on Saturday as well in the Bundesliga, Aris versus PAOK in the Greek Super League, and to wrap it all up on Sunday, we have La Liga action with Valencia taking on Real Sociedad. So lots and lots of football as always, and it all starts off with Juventus and Atalanta going head-to-head. So, gentlemen, let's jump in. Serie A action, two of the biggest teams in Italy. Ademola Lookman, Clinton, what's going to happen tonight?
Everybody pretty much know what's going to happen. Ademola Lookman will turn up. There's no two ways about it. I mean, there's no any other way I can explain it. You know, he's the one player who would always turn up. Even if everybody decides to say they want to go to bed, Ademola Lookman will say he wants to wake up, you know. So I think it's just a beautiful day to enjoy football again. That's how I would say it. He's literally the one man that I'm sure a whole bunch of people back in, or would I even say football fans, are looking forward to watching. So, yeah, I just know it's going to be a win for Atalanta because my boy is going to be gracing that pitch.
Well, Alex, Juventus have yet to lose a game in the Serie A. Shocking, because they do have 12 draws across all these matches. It's not going to be easy for Atalanta because, if anything, Juve are a team that tend to be, they're difficult to go up against because they love to sit back. They love to hold that. They're happy with the draw, clearly, and defensively, they're very strong.
Yeah, from their last 10 games, they've had 6 draws. Is it 12 draws from 19 games in the league? They're a defensively solid side. You know, they've only conceded 16 goals this season. Thiago Motta's set them up in such a way that they are hard to break down. And, well, I think Ademola Lookman will have a job to break them down. Atalanta will have a job to break them down. But I think the big thing for me with Juventus is going forward, they seem to be quite lacking in that department in terms of, you know, when I see a game of Manchester City or Liverpool, I think I'm going to see goals. Whereas Juve, you know, I'm thinking a 1-0 or a 2-0 win. I'm not thinking a big win. And, you know, Atalanta have been one of the informed teams in the Serie A this season, obviously struggling a little bit in their last 3, but they'll want to catch up to Napoli. They've dropped a few points. They obviously drew with Udinese, so they want to make that gap up.
They should have lost to Udinese, if I'm going to be honest with you. They got lucky there.
So, yeah, I think, I mean, I don't want to be a party pooper, but I see this one's got a 0-0 draw written all over it, to be honest.
Smells like a draw. Well, if Juve has taught you anything. Well, listen, like you said, a bit out of form, Atalanta. They obviously drew to Lazio. They drew Udinese, luckily. They got kicked out of Inter in the Supercoppa. But they are 5 points behind Napoli with a game in hand. Now, they play Napoli next weekend. So this game is very, very important. Next weekend. They play Napoli this weekend. There's too much football. I can't keep up. They play Napoli in 4 days' time. If they beat Juventus and if they beat Napoli, Atalanta could be top of the Serie A table, of course, pending what happens with Inter. And obviously, they have 2 games at hand right now. But, Clinton, these 2 matches are crucial for Atalanta and your boy Lookman if they want to do something here in the Serie A.
I mean, I don't know, for some reason I would always just continue screaming my boy's name, Ademola Lookman, because I'm not saying it because I'm Nigerian, but it's only because of what he's capable of doing on the pitch. And, you know, that left wing, he's literally top 3 in the world right now when it comes to gracing that left wing. And we can't even argue it. Like, if I tell you right now, you know, which are the best when it comes to taking up that left wing, Alex, I tell you.
I know where you're going with this.
No, I just said top 3. I mean, I'll put it up to Sara as well,
Where
right?
is he in your top 3? Third?
I don't want to start. No, listen, I don't want to put them according to where they're supposed to be. But right now, Ademola Lookman is top 3 left wingers in the world in no particular order.
So he's third for you.
I didn't say third for me. It's not. No. If you think
You didn't deny it, though.
No. I didn't. I'm not saying he's not third for me, right? But I know in no particular order.
He's not second or first either.
Alex, give us your top 3 left wingers right now.
In the world. In the world.
In the world and in form. Yeah?
Guys on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching us, please, who are the top 3 left wingers in the world? If you're not putting Ademola Lookman, I'm blocking you off all our social media platforms, just to let you know. I'm warning you in advance.
I'll unblock you guys, come on.
So I would block you, she would unblock you. Alex, go on, tell me.
We're talking about in form, like this season.
In form, yes.
Like if there's, you know, someone who's, let's say, been injured.
Thank you, that's it.
I wanted to.
In form this season.
All right, Alex, go for it.
Tough. Number 1 has to be Rafinha.
Hello.
Okay.
Number 2 is difficult.
It's tacky.
It is difficult because there's lots of options. I would like to say Ademola Lookman number 2.
Okay.
I think in terms of what he's done. And number 3, I'm going to go with Luis Diaz.
Oh, Diaz. So we have.
I feel like I might be missing someone though.
Vinicius?
Son, Vinicius.
Mbappe?
When you're
Son?
talking about,
Kvaratskhelia. Yeah.
when you're talking about form at the moment, it's tough. I think you could put Vinicius in that top 3. I think he's done well this season, but I really like what Luis Diaz is doing at Liverpool. He's been, perhaps Salah has taken the most of the shine because of the goals and the assists, but Luis Diaz is just as integral to a part of that attack as Mohamed Salah, and I think he's been one of the best in Europe this season.
Can we just take a moment? You guys want to check on the YouTube comments? Do you know somebody that's there?
Kvaratskhelia?
No, I'm talking about the person that made the comment.
Hang on. Wait, are you talking about Guillaume?
No!
What one?
It's Marking Day.
Interesting.
Oh!
Market Day, making it.
Oh, right, I see what you're okay now.
Resurrected from the dead. Very interesting. Very quiet yesterday. And showed up before, but you know, okay. All right, interesting. Clinton, who are your top 3 left wingers right now?
I was the one that brought the question. Let's hear from you.
Okay, for me, it's absolutely Rafinha first, and then.
Had to be.
Yeah, I mean, in form. Come on. And I kind of want to say Lookman and Son. I feel like Son is just playing. Vinny is there, but I think Vinny. If you ask me this, okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm not going to do the theoretical. We're not doing this. We're not doing it. I think it would be Vinny any other day of the week, but I think the form.
Anthony Gordon? Does he deserve a mention?
I think Anthony.
I think because of the team he plays for, we don't take them seriously.
We sort of, I think, like you said.
But then we wouldn't take Son. I would take Anthony Gordon over Son then if we're talking about the teams right now because Newcastle is doing way better than
Absolutely.
Spurs, right?
I also think on form, Son's been playing well this season, but it's not been his. I don't think he's been, probably because of Spurs' bad form. I think that's probably where we forget it. But he's not been. I don't think this has been his best season of his career so far.
Yeah, I agree. So then, if we're basing it off that, then we can't put Vinny.
I mean, are we going to judge Vinny based on one game though? or two that he's not really performed.
I'm basing it off this season.
I mean, this season he.
Well, yeah.
Because first of all, they are number one in the Spanish league. Or
Second.
sorry, are they second now?
Yeah, 1 point behind Atletico Madrid.
No way, really? They've come back.
Atletico Madrid won their game in hand at the weekend again.
Okay, wait a second. Would you put Vinny or Luis Diaz based on this season then?
That's also a very good question too.
Okay, because then if we're gonna put then it says, does Ademola Lookman make the top three?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I
because-
mean?
To be honest,
Yeah,
actually,
because he
I'm gonna-
does. Because I mean, he where is Atalanta?
Alex has something very controversial to
No,
say right now.
I'm going to get rid of Luis Diaz and I'm going to put Vinny in there.
Okay, so,
So
yours is Vinny,
Rafinha.
Rafinha,
Rafinha,
Vinny, and Ademola
Lookman
Lookman.
and Vinny.
What about you?
I don't hate it. I could agree. I think though Luis Diaz deserves a shout with the way
Yeah,
he's been playing
he's
this
been
season.
fantastic.
Like he's been on fire.
I'm only pipping Vinny in there ahead of Luis Diaz because of his output. I think when you look at goals, they're fairly similar, but in terms of assists, Vinny's got 10. I think Luis
It's hard
Diaz
not
has
to
got
put Vinny
3.
in there.
Yeah, he's been
But-
fantastic.
Does Luis Diaz make it over Lookman? Wait, let Clinton not answer because I know.
No, I'm not going to answer, obviously. Come on, I'm
No,
just
no,
like,
I'm just curious, I'm
listen,
just curious.
for the first time, I'm happy to just be silent. Like, I'm just going to watch this one go on.
No, I think Ademola Lookman just pips it over Luis Diaz. It's a very close run thing. But yeah, Rafinha, Ademola Lookman. I might even put Vinny ahead of Lookman, actually. Vinny in second and Lookman in third. I think that's my top 3. I'm going to settle with that one.
Hold on. I'm just looking into stuff. You're gonna do Rafinha, Vinny, and then Lookman.
Yes.
I don't hate it. I think I feel bad for Luis Diaz though, but actually they have the same amount of goals, to be fair. That's crazy. I just wanted to know how many actually Luis Diaz had put on the board because I know he's been playing well.
12.
But, sorry, 8 in the Prem,
Okay.
as well as Vinny's 8 in La Liga, and then 3 in the Champions League and Vinny's 5 in the Champions League.
Guillaume said, Vinny is still in Mafio's pocket.
Stop, Guillaume. Stop it. That's. Yeah, I'm happy to do those 3. Honestly, I don't know. It's hard.
So, wait. So your problem here is Lucho versus Vinny or Ademola Lookman. Who gets
It might be Lookman. I think.
Are we discounting Musiala in this conversation?
Can I make a public
We're talking about
statement?
like proper
Is
like
he
left
more of a
wing.
10?
Yeah, exactly. I would say so.
I know he can play out.
But
Yeah.
can I say this though? I feel like, I'm sorry guys if you're a very huge fan of the German Bundesliga. I feel like the difference, there's no much difference between Bundesliga and French League One.
Whoa.
Sorry to say, I'm sorry. Do you know why? Can I give you my reason at least?
Yeah, and I'll give you why you're wrong.
Perfect.
Go on.
Go for it.
Because let's put it this way. Apart from Bayern Munich, yeah, Bayer Leverkusen, and Dortmund, take away these 3. Which other teams are in the Bundesliga that are so competitive? Like, if you want to look at it like
Somewhere
the La
Eintracht
Liga.
Frankfurt
Hang on, wait.
screaming in
Wait. Like, when you want to compare it to the La Liga or the Premier League.
Oh, I think.
Thank you.
So I thought you said that the Bundesliga and the French League are at a similar level. That's
No,
what you said.
no,
No,
they're not
don't do
similar
that to
level.
the Bundesliga.
That's what you said.
No, definitely. Oh, come on, no,
That's
no.
why, that's why
No,
I
said there is
disagree with you.
I was trying to say the difference between them, right?
I think there's a huge difference in quality between the Bundesliga and the French league.
I don't think the difference is that huge.
I think it is.
Do you know why? Okay, tell me why you think it is.
Because, like you said, you've got Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen, Borussia
Dortmund.
Dortmund, Frankfurt, RB Leipzig.
You see, these teams, yeah, RB Leipzig, Frankfurt, yeah. There are some French teams I could easily equate them to.
So take away, okay, let's just stick with the 3. Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen, Borussia Dortmund. Would you say those are the top 3 teams in Germany, barring the fact
Definitely.
that Borussia Dortmund are 8th at the moment?
Sorry, say that again?
Ignoring the fact that Borussia Dortmund are 8th in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, I'm still going to ignore the fact because the season is not
Okay,
ended.
in terms of title prospects, you think those 3 are the top 3?
Absolutely.
Can you name 3 teams that would win the Liga?
That win in France.
Yeah. Can you name
PSG.
and? And
No, wait.
And
Wait, hang on. Monaco.
and
No, Monaco could easily win it.
yeah.
Right? And maybe Lille. Yes, for real though. No,
You
for
think
real.
it's that? I'm talking about the.
That's why I said the quality is not the same.
But the
But
difference.
I'm saying the difference is not as crazy because, mind you, Monaco, they were the first people that humbled Barcelona this season in the Champions League, though. So we cannot just take them away. All right? But when you look at these other teams like the La Liga and you look at Premier League, you will see that this. Anyway, the reason why I brought up this whole stuff, is it was regarding when we're trying to, talk about these players, and then you mentioned Musiala, right? I feel like
No.
I don't, I'm not thinking about, players from, that end, because for me, if you literally want to test yourself as a player, and I know this is going to bounce back to my boy Victor Boniface because they will be like, okay, yeah, he's good, he scores goals, but let him come prove himself in some tougher leagues like maybe the La Liga or the Premier League. Would he be able to do it, right? But I feel like for me to certify you to beat that guy, you need to have gone to some of these tough leagues like the La Liga. So why do I respect Cristiano Ronaldo? Is because of the fact that he's literally gone around and he's been successful in all of them. Do you understand? And in as much as let me not go into Lionel Messi. I love him.
I think my point is with the French league is the last team to win the Liga or Liga other than PSG was Lille in 2021. I think you could say, to be fair, 3 years ago the German league wasn't that competitive because Bayern were winning it every year.
Absolutely. Without a coach, they'll win it.
Dortmund were the only team really pushing them. But now you've got Bayer Leverkusen, who are arguably just as strong as Bayern Munich. They beat them in the DFB Pokal. They're 4 points behind them in the Bundesliga. I think the competition, the level of competition in the Bundesliga, especially after last season and now this season, is so much higher than the French league because the difference between PSG and then Monaco a bit further down and the rest is just, it's incomparable. Because I think when you look at the odds, PSG are going to win the French league for the next 5 years. But the next 5 years, we could have Bayer Leverkusen, we could have Dortmund, we could have Bayern Munich.
I mean, you see, you've just mentioned these three teams again. So this is the reason why I say the difference is just two teams. Yeah.
Can I just be devil's advocate, just for fun? I'm not saying this is my opinion. You're saying that though, but when you look at the Champions League,
yeah,
that was the next thing I was going to talk about. That was the next part I was going to go again.
Monaco and Lille.
But when was the last time a French team won the
Champions League? Definitely not. Like 100% zero. Yeah. But then again, apart from Bayern Munich, which other German team would you say they've won the Champions League? Like
Borussia Dortmund have won the Champions League.
Like how long ago?
1997.
Exactly. You were not born then. So you see, that's my problem. Like where. But okay. Anyways, so let's come back to the conversation, right?
Okay,
so you chose.
I'm happy to land on Rafinha, Vinny, and Lookman, but I feel like we are like Kvara, Rafael Leao, Luis Diaz.
I mean, I'm not going to put Rafael Leao in this conversation for a reason. In as much as he's good, and I love him, everybody knows on the show how much I love Rafael Leao, but he's not very consistent as a left winger compared to the rest of them that we are mentioning.
Fine.
By the way, yes,
and Anthony Gordon, sorry, that was the last one. I think Anthony Gordon
is even more consistent.
If he continues to stay into this form, I think the thing is he got into his form a little bit later in the season, later into this half of the season. So I think if he continues, he'll knock one of those three out, absolutely. But I need to see it, him be a little bit more consistent still.
I think, to be honest, I'll probably go with the same list or the same names that Alex have gone for. So, but like I said, in no particular order though, I would definitely go for Ademola Lookman, Vinny, and what's the next one?
Rafinha.
That's one, Rafinha. And Rafinha is there's a behavior I saw from the Barcelona game that day that would have made me chuck him off because I love the behavior as well, which means I probably should not be mentioning Vinny. However, let's just take that one out of the way. And definitely Rafinha, Ademola Lookman, and Vinny, they are definitely the best left wingers. The rest of them, I'm not saying they are not very good, but I think the teams that they play for is probably not giving them the type of light that they should be getting. For example, obviously, Son, Luis Diaz. Trust me, you don't understand how much I love that player. Somebody mentioned Cody Gakpo.
Luis Diaz plays for Liverpool. What is his team not doing for him?
No. Luis Diaz is good. Yeah, he plays for Liverpool. They are the best in the Premier League as we speak. However, I don't know. Like, truly, that's a very good question. Why is he not in that conversation? Is it because I don't know?
He is. We just had the conversation. We put him in the
No,
conversation.
no. Oh, sorry. No. When I say he's not in the conversation, like, why is he not making it to the?
I honestly think he could push some, like, one or two of these guys out with the season he's been having.
Ademola Lookman, you think? Vini?
I don't think he could push out Vinny or Rafinha. I think those two are definitely in there. I think the only one that could be dropped out is Ademola Lookman. For me.
So I'm going to sit over here. I did
For me.
not getting involved today.
Somebody wants.
If I'm not here tomorrow, guys, you know what's happened.
Jesus.
Yes, you definitely know what happened, and I will tell you what happened. I killed him.
Well, I wasn't going. I was
wow.
just saying you chased me away. And
No, I'm not
ran
chasing.
back to England.
I don't chase people away. I kill. No, right.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, back to Atalanta and Juve. How about that? Dusan Vlahovic for Juve could be the savior for Arsenal, Alex. You know, he's linked to be leaving Juventus, and Arsenal needs a striker. Do you guys see Vlahovic being able to fit into that Arsenal squad, or just the Premier League in general?
It's a difficult one. I think it's really hard to tell with players these days how they adapt to different leagues, because the difference between the Serie A and the Premier League in terms of physicality, skill, technique. I am saying that the Premier League is a better league and it's a harder league, it's a more competitive league, but it's also a completely different style of play. I think the Premier League is probably faster pace. There's a different tactics that team use, and I think you would need some time to adapt, which is why I'm doubtful. And he's done well in Serie A, but he hasn't exactly lit the world alight. He hasn't gone in there and scored, 20 goals. We aren't talking about him as the most informed striker in the world at the moment. He's not even in that conversation. So I think for Arsenal to have someone that's going to make me think, wow, they could actually challenge for the Premier League or the Champions League now.
They need someone more clinical.
So, someone more clinical, and I hate to say it, but someone more expensive. And I know it's not all about the money you spend, but Vlahovic doesn't exactly fill me with lots of excitement if I was an Arsenal fan.
I agree. You would argue that Juve needs someone more clinical than Vlahovic, considering they have drawn most of their games this season. Clearly, they need someone up front. Meanwhile, Atalanta, I mean, obviously there is Ademola Lookman, but their top goal scorer, Matteo Retegui, Clinton's favorite player.
Yep,
he still owes Clinton one.
I mean, that's true, But even apart from him, I always call him. I don't know why I always try to pronounce the name.
Charles the Catalaire.
Yeah, Catalaire. Right. He's also
MVP.
He's somebody that I feel like he's not getting the kind of loudness that he deserves. When you look at the kind of goals he scores, if you see how much he turns up for Atalanta, right? The only reason I'm screaming at Ademola Lookman, everybody knows I'm Nigerian, my boy is scoring and I have to shout. But listen, Catalaire is like a magician of Atalanta as well. Like, he's part of those guys in the team that's made the club what it is today. When you see when he turns up, the kind of goals he scores, it's just crazy. And when I see himself and Ademola Lookman leading that attack with Retegui, like, I just feel like this team, they're even capable of winning a Champions League, like trophy proper. Like they are that solid. And Retegui.
I think the thing that I think gets me the most is, and I think I said this yesterday to quite a few people, if Arsenal had bought Isak in the summer, they could have got him for less than 100 million. Yeah. And now they're looking at paying more than 150 million.
Yes.
And they're not going to fork out that money. I know it's a gamble, but at the end of the day, football is about those gambles, and you have to take those risks if you want to put yourself in a position to win titles. And Arsenal have really lacked that intent.
Yeah, I completely agree. They need to make a move. We'll see what will happen with Vlahovic. Go on.
Aye.
What?
Isak, though, to Arsenal. Hey, but listen.
I'm enjoying Newcastle though too.
I think it's a bit of a pie in the sky dream. I don't think it's going to happen.
I pray it doesn't happen.
Because also Newcastle technically have the backing, or they do have the backing and the potential to play Champions League football, to say we don't need to sell him. Isak will be like, I'm more likely to. I don't think Newcastle are more likely to win the Premier League
Definitely
than Arsenal.
not.
But give it 2 or 3 years, if he stays in that project, they could be. And I think if you ask me now, who's more likely to win a meaningful title or trophy in the next 3 years, I'd probably say Newcastle at this rate.
Yep.
Whether that's the FA Cup or Carabao Cup.
Yep. 100%. I agree with that.
I just want to jump into our polls that we had here. You guys have Atalanta winning this evening. 76% of you voted for an Atalanta win. So very favored for Ademola Lookman. When we asked you guys who is the best winger currently, 52% of you said Rafinha, 22% Ademola Lookman, 12 said Luis Diaz.
That's crazy, though.
And 12 said Vinny. So you can see where the toss-up was coming from, even
Yeah.
between the three of us. We're all having the same conversation at home. Jumping back to Arsenal and Newcastle and Atalanta and all of this, well, Arsenal are actually looking at Zubimendi, because that's going to solve their problems, Alex.
I mean, I do think Arsenal need another quality midfielder. They need another world-class midfielder, whether Zubimendi is that man. And I think I was saying this earlier, so much for, I want to stay and I want to be part of this Real Sociedad project. I don't want to go to Liverpool.
Everyone has a price.
Arsenal come along. Oh, yeah, actually, no, I could do with going to the Premier League. I think it shows you, like you said, how fickle football can be. Not just football players, football fans, football in general. And no, I think he would be a good signing for Arsenal. He would bolster that midfield. They do need someone to, I think, just give them options in that midfield. But still, yet again, I still think they need a world-class midfielder. And I don't think Zubimendi is world-class at the moment.
I mean, I feel like already you have, take away the fact that Odegaard missed the penalty or whatever, which he did make up, during the Manchester United game, and he kind of like made a lot of their fans feel like, no, if you're missing a penalty, mind you, that penalty that he had wasn't a bad penalty. The Manchester goalkeeper, how do you pronounce the guy's name? But what's the first name?
Yeah,
something around there.
I've got you. Yeah.
But he was good, right? He saved the penalty.
Alte.
Yeah, but people felt like, oh, wait, why should the captain of a team be missing a penalty? Like, it's not possible. And it made me feel like, no, anybody could miss a penalty. Lionel Messi has missed a penalty. Ronaldo has missed a penalty. Like, everybody does it. But the keeper was good because he did place it. And they were like, man, it shouldn't be. But Odegaard is a world-class player for Arsenal. As a matter of fact, Odegaard, Saka, take away those two, I think Arsenal will be fighting relegation. Who knows, right? Yeah, they have good defenders. That's their problem. But they just need somebody. I don't think what they need in Arsenal right now is some kind of crazy magician, like, somebody who's like an almighty midfielder. I think they have what it takes. It's not like they're not creating chances. It's not like they just need somebody who's going to take the chances in front, and they don't have it. Havertz is not doing the job. I mean, at some point, he deceived us. He made us feel like he was going to be that guy. If you guys listen, a couple of weeks or months back, I was saying on this show that I think, because remember, Havertz was on fire at some point, right? He was literally scoring goals. He was acting like, Chelsea should cry because they lost me, and I'm going to show these guys that they lost some kind of gold. But obviously, we can see that he's not really the guy. And what I feel like they need is that guy. Because if they have just a good striker, they could have easily won that game without it going to penalties. But Havertz just didn't take the chances, right? So, do they need any kind of midfield? I don't think they need a world-class midfielder. They need a very good midfielder.
I think that's my issue with Arsenal, though. You take out, like you said, if you take out Odegaard and Saka, it's pretty depleted, that midfield. Yes, I think Declan Rice is a good player. I think he's a very solid player. I think Mikel Merino still has a lot to do to improve. I don't see him as a world-class midfielder that's going to control games and be that magician in the midfield, that holding midfielder that's going to, run the play. I think Arsenal need, to use an NFL term, a sort of quarterback kind of midfielder that's going to sit there and literally not spray passes, but he's going to be the one manning the play. He's going to be, dictating runs. He's going to be playing these balls over the top at a world-class level. Yeah. You look at Man City, they've got so many options like that. Kevin De Bruyne, I know Bernardo Silva sometimes plays on the side, but you look at the options that they have in that midfield. You look at Real Madrid, you look at Barcelona, you look at Bayern Munich. All of these teams have world-class midfielders that can dictate games. I don't think Arsenal have that. Odegaard isn't the one who's going to sit back. I like him further forward, involved in the attack. I think they just need someone in that 8 position that's going to sit there and control the game.
I mean, well, sometimes I see Declan Rice being, would you not consider Declan Rice being a world class? Even the one that's come from Chelsea as well, Jorginho. Like,
no. I think we give out the word world class too easily.
No, for me, I don't. Mind you, that's the reason why I said Arsenal does not, because when you're talking about world class, right? Like you said, I'm looking at the Kevin De Bruyne level, right? I'm looking at the Rodri level. Like these are world class midfielders, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I'm looking at the gameplay from Arsenal. Arsenal, they are not the team that you could clearly see that they're able to hold the ball, right? They pass the ball around. You could see that they cause serious havoc in 18-yard boxes. But the problem with Arsenal is they just can't score goals.
Yeah.
You see, because let's find the problem first, right? If the problem is, say, when they play games and the teams they play against, they keep the ball, or is Arsenal always trying to go find the ball instead of vice versa, we would have said, okay, now hang on, you need people who are able to keep the ball, who are able to distribute the ball around, who are able to find these link-up passes like we see with Odegaard, right? But no, that's not the problem with Arsenal, though. The problem with Arsenal, everybody knows, it's not even the defense. Like we were saying that when it even comes to defense, Arsenal, they're like the second best in the Premier League after Liverpool. We were even comparing Konate, Van Dijk versus what's it called? Gabriel and Saliba. Like we were saying, which two are the best in the Premier League? So when it comes to both defending, it's just the forward. And Arsenal with their forward, they are not even that bad. They just need a world-class striker, right? They look at what Man City. Man City. They got rid of Alvarez to Atleti. And what are we looking now? They are literally bringing one of the best in the world. Literally, they are bringing somebody from Germany, a German machine. Yeah? Mamouche.
I think...
No, so you see, for me...
I see what you're saying about the goal scorer, but I also think you need someone to give him the chances to get the goals. You look at that Chelsea team that won the Champions League in 2021. They won the Champions League with Timo Werner as their striker.
That was, also the...
It was obviously a weird year with COVID and what have you, but...
I can't even I can't believe that Chelsea even no, we can't.
You asked the question, Clinton, about do you not think that Declan Rice could be that man to run that midfield? He's got 5 assists this season. I want a lot more from a midfielder that's gonna...
I know what you're saying.
That's gonna control games. That's gonna... I want 10 or 15. I want 15 assists a season, and it doesn't look like Declan Rice is that sort of man who's gonna take me to that level. I think he's a brilliant player. I think he's a wonderful player going forward. Defensively, he offers a lot for Arsenal, but I just think they need someone else in that midfield. But I do also agree with what Clinton said. They need a goal scorer because Havertz and Gabriel Jesus, who's now injured, just don't cut it.
Gyökeres?
I mean, it's an exciting one, but knowing Arsenal, they won't bring him in until the summer because his release clause, I think, reduces in the summer.
Gyökeres is coming to Manchester United, by the way, so stop it.
They have the competition. If you've got Arsenal looking at you, you've got Liverpool looking at you, you've got Manchester United. Arsenal are going to have to
come to Manchester because of the coach. Come on, man.
Arsenal are going to have to fork out some cash if they want to get him.
Well,
like you said,
interesting that we're talking about Arsenal because guess who's just joined us? It's Gary Al Smith. Let's get his opinion on all of this. Hello, Gary. You're on mute.
You want to get my opinion after you have slandered Arsenal, and you want to get my opinion.
Gary, we spoke about it obviously yesterday, and we know that Arsenal need a goal scorer and who it could be, but Alex is making a very good case for the fact that Arsenal also needs someone in the middle to create a lot of these chances because he's not seeing it from the midfield that Arsenal maybe have right now. Obviously, the news broke that there's links with Zubimendi and Arsenal, but what are your thoughts on that and Arsenal's current situation in the midfield?
Yeah, I think Alex is right. I also caught the bit where Clinton was talking about Odegaard as well, and I think he's also right on that. So I think I've said in the last few weeks that, Arteta should at the end of the day take some stake. Alex has been quite adamant or, insistent is the word, that because he is the manager who got us closest to the title when previous could not, we should have a bit of patience for him. But I think that's where it begins because, it was you, Sarah, who asked yesterday that at some of this, you asked this of Real Madrid, that if they are getting such results, then at a point we have to look at the coach because then the problem has to be the coach. And I think the similar question can be asked of Arsenal. So we can be talking about the midfield, but I insist, we've had a good midfield, good enough to be close to beating Manchester City to the title. So what has happened to the fact that when you have a season like last one, theoretically, or as we know football today to be, in the season following, you should be better. Why have we gotten worse? That's where it begins. It's the same players. Why have we gotten worse? Who has gone? Not many. So why are we getting worse? Why aren't we gelling as we were last season? Why aren't we taking advantage of the fact that Man City have been poorer and we are losing games and not being fluent in the midfield, as Alex has correctly pointed out? I think there's something wrong with the coaching. Is Zubimendi the right answer, or he is going to add to the systemic problem? I do not know. We know how good he is. We saw him, in continental competition. We've seen him also for his club. We know how good. But is he joining a system that is broken and not pairing and not the right things are not happening? That's my fear. As for the striker, it goes without saying. I mean, it's a no-brainer. We know we've belabored the points many times. Arsenal fans everywhere in the world know that we need a striker. So we absolutely need to get a striker, which also is one point of annoyance. Why are we signing Zubimendi when we need to be signing a striker first of all? Very Arsenal-y of us. Very Arsenal. But yeah. So those are my thoughts. That he's a good signing, but at this point, for what we need and for what our priorities are, he is nothing but a luxury signing, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. We'll see what Arsenal gets up to. We'll preview them tomorrow because we have the North London derby, Gary, and that's a big one. That's bragging rights, and your team needs a bounce back. But we'll leave that for tomorrow. Before we move along here into some Premier League, now that Gary's with us, let's do a little score prediction for Atalanta and Juventus, starting with ClintonCod.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I think this one I'm going to go 2-1 to Atalanta. Ademola Lookman on the score sheet.
Of course.
I mean, had to be. Ketelaere
Charles de Ketelaere
is scoring the second one. For Juve, I think it's an on goal.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Sorry, what did I... Yeah, let's just leave it there. That was the spirit.
Alex, you did say a 0-0 draw.
You're not going to like me for it, but 0-0.
It's fine. I'm going to go 1-1. Because I think Atalanta have the ability to score here, but I think Juve have more of an ability to draw a match. So if science and statistics have told me, I'm going for another Juve draw, unfortunately for Atalanta. Gary?
Feel like an Atalanta win. I'm going with Clinton. I mean, I don't know whether it's 2-1, but I feel like they're going to upset what's their nickname again?
The old lady.
The Giallorossi. Well, the old lady, but the Italian one.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot what the Italian one is. Is it the Giallorossi or that's Milan?
No, that's
Rossoneri.
Rossoneri
is Milan.
is AC Milan.
Milan. It's AC Milan. I think it's Giallorossi or whatever. I don't know. Forgot.
As we do some research here. So no one's gone for a Juve win anyways. And we're just not... Gary, you've got.
But why do we all not think Juventus will win? I don't know why.
Because they need a win. Because they haven't won in ages, what feels like. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see what Atalanta and Juve get up to later this evening in the Serie A. Remember, guys, that is on SportyTV, so stay tuned for a big one over in Italy. But there's also another big one, gentlemen, in England. Could we say for the title, Nottingham Forest welcoming Liverpool? Yes.
It's a payback.
Yes, exactly. If we remember all the way back in September, Nottingham Forest shocked Liverpool at Anfield, and that was Liverpool's only loss in the Prem. Now, Alex, we have the reverse. Nottingham doing pretty well under Nuno Espirito Santo. We gave him a lot of praise last week, but Liverpool also, I don't want to say they're looking shaky, but not getting the results in the last few weeks we maybe would have expected them to.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this one.
I mean, only 1 win in 3. They obviously lost to Spurs. It was the Carabao Cup. They drew with United, I think. We're not seeing cracks. Teams will have dips in form. Liverpool are a fantastic team. I do believe that they can get a result. However, I think people are still underestimating how good Nottingham Forest are and how well they can set up. And you look at how they've not just surprised teams by beating them 1-0 or 2-0, but we've seen how well they've done against the top teams in this league, and we've seen how well they've played against them. And I really think Nottingham Forest might surprise a few people tonight, and I'm leaning towards the draw. I think both teams will be more erring on the side of not wanting to lose rather than trying to go for the win, because if Forest get the win, they do go 3 points behind Liverpool. If Liverpool get the win, they go 9 points clear of Arsenal. With that game in hand, obviously the rearranged Merseyside derby. But I think Forest will put up a stern test, and it will be tougher than we think for Liverpool.
Clinton, Forest have 7 rows and win in the Prem. Last time they lost was, funnily enough, in December, 4th of December, to Man City. Since then, they've been on a tear. We know what Chris Wood is all about. Morgan Gibbs-White. This team is becoming more and more serious. And is it a little bit controversial that I'm actually hoping for a Forest win tonight, guys? Just because
Sorry,
I want the title horse race. I don't want peace. I
you want problems. Now, honestly, I think I'm backing you on that one, Sarah. Truth is, when I see games like this, I'm always wanting this whole Liverpool this, Liverpool that, because we've seen Liverpool. They still have loopholes in games. Like sometimes they play in a way that you feel like, hang on, is this the same Liverpool that have gone all these straight games unbeaten? What is going on? And when we see how solid Nottingham Forest have become, it's almost as if when they face any team, suddenly now I just feel like, yeah, this is a Nottingham Forest win. It's almost like how we saw teams like Manchester City, right? Obviously, stay from last season. Let's not talk about this season now, right? Nottingham Forest, they play games and we just know that, yeah, they're coming back with a win. Now they are facing Liverpool again. Now this is basically at least top 4 teams. These 2 teams playing is almost, I understand the name of Nottingham Forest is still sounding like, yeah, that team that's still in relegation battling. There's something that still comes with the name that is making me feel like they are still not that good team. But actually, these people they are very good. This is almost the equivalent of Liverpool playing Manchester City right now. If we want to be sincere with ourselves, they are good. They are literally on the verge of playing Champions League football. I don't know the last time they played Champions League football, but if they continue in this manner, they are in that contention, right? It's going to be bloody. Let's see it that way, because fact is, Liverpool would not want a repetition of what happened. They are coming to this game with the mindset of, I'm coming to pay back. You guys destroyed our streak of winning games from the start of the season. We are coming to take this thing away from you this time around. Nottingham Forest, on the other hand, the mentality they are going into this game with, we've done it before, we have to do it again. We don't want them to come give us that 1-1 scoreline of, yeah, you've beat me before, and now we beat you before, you're beating us back. So is that game, I can't tell you what is going to happen, but I just know it's going to be so messy. I can't wait. What's going to be the score? I don't know. I don't know who's going to win. I'm not going to tell you it's Liverpool. I'm not going to say it's Nottingham Forest either. Like, the easy thing I'll tell you that would happen is probably a draw.
Yeah, we have a couple of draws here on our YouTube. Gary, are you leaning towards one side here, whether it's Nottingham or Liverpool, or do you also see a draw potentially?
Potentially a draw. I don't think Nottingham Forest are going to open up. That's the first reason why.
Yep.
I don't think they do not need to win this game. I'll be surprised if the team talk is, go on, lads, go and win it.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It's compact, low block, go out there, try and get something out and frustrate Liverpool as much as possible. And I think that's what's going to happen. Not sure whether it's 1-1 or 2-2, but I just think it's going to be a draw.
Alex, are you leaning towards the side here? Because I think...
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the draw. I'm going to say 2-2.
Damn,
everyone's going
for
for
a
a
draw,
draw.
Ooh,
Going for a draw.
that's going to be a nice
Come
game.
on, up the Forest. Come on.
Listen, we need to give credit. We need to give credit to Nottingham Forest, though. Like, if they are facing the best team, if they are facing the best team in the Premier, actually, not even the Premier League, we are saying that Liverpool is literally the best team in the world right now, right? I mean, am I lying? I mean, even ties to Barcelona, they are still better than Barcelona, right? Like, if they are facing a Nottingham Forest as of last season, they would be in the relegation zone, and now we don't even know. We are saying it's going to be a draw. Fam, they deserve the credit. Like, Nottingham Forest. Like, that's a good scoreline already before the game starts.
I mean, yeah, even if they come out with a draw here, they'll be happy with that.
For me, a draw for Nottingham Forest.
Well, guys, do Liverpool also need to win? Do they
have to
need
win,
to
though.
win?
I don't think.
No,
no,
they
oh,
need
They
not.
have a game in hand.
Yeah.
No, for me, it's not about.
They have a game in hand.
Wait. Guys, listen to me. It's not about whether they have a game in hand or not. It's the fact that this team, they've humbled you from the start of the season. You have a game in hand, it could be against anybody. Like, okay, it's almost exactly what I was saying about Real Madrid and Barcelona, right? It was an El Clasico. But the win against Real Madrid was more important than the cup itself. Right now, it's not about the points. It's about the retaliation to me. Do you see it? Because this is Nottingham Forest.
The
and
response.
Liverpool.
The
The
response to
response,
that.
thank you.
Yeah.
That's literally how I see it. So Liverpool, they have to win the game.
Well, the pressure's definitely on them, especially with that loss to Spurs in the Carabao Cup. Obviously, only the first leg. The draw to United was treated like a loss for them. I know they beat Accrington Stanley like 5-0 or whatever it was in the FA Cup. But I think, yeah, they want to bounce back and they want to show what they're all about. So the pressure's on Liverpool. So let's see what happens tonight. But I think it's going to be a great game. Really interesting comment here made by Street Fighter. And we'll get into this game now. If Man City win tonight, Gary, if Manchester City win tonight, they will move into 4th place, 3 points behind Arsenal. Arsenal will have a game and match, but it is the North London derby.
Also, if that means Chelsea have to lose.
Chelsea have to lose, but this is a possibility. Man City, Brentford this evening. Guys, I think they're back.
I mean, yes, the horrible dip in form they had was abnormal, and we never see such a bad dip in form from teams when it comes to talking about title winners. But I've said this countless times, I was never counting City out until they were mathematically out of the race. I said this, I think, when they're in the middle of their dip. We could be talking by January or February. They put a run of games together, they win a few, they're back in the top 4. Before you know it, they're 8 points behind Liverpool, they're 6 points behind Liverpool.
And if they go on with this signing.
Yeah, and they get Omar Marmoush.
Woof!
Well, speaking about signings, they have confirmed signed Victor Jesus from Palmeiras, 19-year-old center back. We know that they've been
Is that
struggling in
for
the defense
now, though, or is that to come in the summer?
as of January.
Okay,
So I don't know if he will be available this evening, but that's one to watch for sure, especially since Kyle Walker is asked to be sent off.
well,
and away.
they said they'll let him go on a free if the right offer
Somebody
comes
wants
along. And I think, from what I've heard, AC Milan and Inter Milan are both interested in him, and he said he wants to explore the possibility of playing abroad. So
Okay.
power to him. I think it's the right decision for both him and Manchester City. I think he's been a fantastic servant to the club. He's been a fantastic player across his career. But since the Euros, I've slowly started to see a little bit of a decline with Kyle Walker. And I think we've slowly started to see holes in his game and perhaps not having the pace that he once had to keep up with the strikers of this day and age. So I think Man City will be thankful of his service, but also happy to let him go if the right offer comes along.
Yeah. So let's see what happens with Manchester City. We have to talk about Haaland just really quickly. Sorry, because I just want to say that even with this entire dip, 6 losses, Manchester City, he still has 16 goals. 16. Just 16.
Only 16 goals.
Only 16,
Just,
you
that's
A
it.
meager 16 goals.
Yeah, because he kicked off the season so strong that even this dip didn't affect him.
And he got 2 goals against West Ham in their most
That,
recent
like,
Premier League.
thrashing they had. Yeah.
So he's, he got a goal before Christmas, just after Christmas against Leicester. I think he's slowly finding his form again. We see, obviously he didn't play against Salford in that 8-0 win.
I mean, if he had played, he probably would have had half of those goals, though.
Yeah, so I think, like we're slowly starting to see City come back to their best, I think we'll start to see Haaland come back to his best as well. So expect lots of problems for Brentford, but they'll also be in a mood of wanting to kick back after getting knocked out by Plymouth.
Biggest shock in the FA Cup, I'd say, this week.
So we'll have an interesting game on our hands, but I think Man City will get the win.
There's a little stat here. No team in the Premier League has lost more games after scoring first than Brentford this season, while Man City have won more matches after going behind than any other team in the top flight. And they're the big 6, basically. So that's not a great stat for Brentford, but like you mentioned, Alex, they're coming off of that loss. They're going to want to bounce back. Clinton, do you see City starting to turn things around slowly? Can you see them getting the win tonight?
Well, I mean, first of all, yeah, I also saw the news that Pep Guardiola has just divorced his wife, and it's a very proper. No, but not Gary.
Gary, my producer literally, Ben had said, "Don't worry, Clinton will bring this up."
No, but it's true though. But it's true because the truth is that's the reason why my man has been losing games. I told you that women they play a very important role in the lives of both players and coaches. Listen, they hold a very serious stake in these athletes. And now we see the reason why my man was scratching his head, bringing out blood on the pitch. It wasn't just about the football. It was about his wife. It was about his wife. Now the wife, they've agreed everything. They're both going separate ways. My man will come back mentally fine. And bro, I see Man City coming back in this league and probably winning the Premier League as usual. Let's see. This sounded like a joke. I've told you, we can go investigate so many players who are dipping. 80% of the time, it's a woman that's the problem. Go and check. Go and check. There's always one girl somewhere or there's one woman somewhere. Bro, leave women alone.
Alex, do you want to add anything to that?
Alex doesn't have anything to add.
No, I mean...
Smarter man than Clinton. There we go. Way smarter.
I don't want to lower myself to that level.
No, but Gary, but you know what I'm saying is facts, though. Don't worry, I know. Just text me on WhatsApp. Yeah, I know you don't want to say it on TV. I understand. Don't worry. After the show now, you will message me and say, Clinton, bro, what you said is actually true, you know.
I think there's a smarter way of saying it.
Guys, look. Guess what? I mean, how interesting would it be if Pep wrote a book in a couple years and admitted that his head was not in the right place?
And then Sarah in particular would apologize to me.
No, I wouldn't, because what you're saying is wrong. What you want to say, and I'll tell you, your personal life absolutely affects your professional life. I don't care if you are a teacher, if you are a football broadcaster, if you are a coach, if you're having problems at home, it's going to affect you because that's logic. I'm not going to go and say, men are causing all my problems because they do my
He doesn't have any problem at home. He has problem with a woman. He has problem with the wife.
Oh, that's at his home. It's like if you have problem with your kids, your family, anything. It's obviously going to affect it.
There's nobody that has problem with their kids that goes out and start having problems on the pitch. It's always a woman. Okay. Right, let's end it there because I know now people. Yes, and do your face like that. That's the reason why he doesn't have a girlfriend till now.
And you don't either. All right, let's move right along.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh.
All right, let's talk about Alex Ashford's team, Chelsea, because they're also in action after a. I can't. All right, Alex, Bournemouth, Chelsea. A little bit of a wobbly stage right now for Chelsea as well. Chelsea have 2 losses in their last 6.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start this off. Do you want to keep Christopher Nkunku?
I'm loath to say no because I think he's a very good player. I think there is a good player in there. But when you're getting offered the sort of money that Chelsea are getting offered for a player of his calibre, I think you have to take it because there are so many other areas in that squad that I think you could reinvest in and improve the squad to no end that I think it would be silly to turn down that money. So I know they're holding out for their asking price of, I think it's 70, 75 million for an Nkunku. I think it's the right decision to sell him.
Okay.
I know, yeah. So they've been offered, I think they've been offered 65 million. They've said, no, we're holding out for the asking price, which is 70 or 75, I'm not sure. And they're holding on for it. They say, we want that or nothing else. So if you're getting offered that sort of money for a player like Nkunku, I think you have to accept it because you look at the defence and the goalkeeper. I mean,
we know how you feel.
I think you could buy a world-class centre-back for that sort of money, and I think it would be a much better investment because Chelsea the squad at the moment is quite top-heavy. You look at the players they have. You know, Pedro Neto, João Felix, obviously Cole Palmer is never going to get dropped. Nicholas Jackson,
Jadon Sancho,
you know, Madueke, Jadon Sancho. There are so many options in that forward line, and this is why we're not seeing the likes of Nkunku play. You know, Mark Guéhi's having to rely on Europa Conference League performances against Shamrock Rovers to get his minutes. So, yeah, I think if I was the Chelsea board of directors, I would make the decision to sell it with a heavy heart, because I do think Christopher Nkunku could be a really good player in the future, and he is a really good player.
Gary, just by your reaction there, what do you think is Christopher Nkunku's price right now? What would you, yeah, because that reaction I have to ask.
What's
he worth?
75 million. 75 million is a lot of money for Nkunku. Because he's not proving, I'm paying 75 million for Bukayo Saka and Cole Palmer right now.
Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, I'm saying we are starting the negotiation for Cole Palmer at 75 million or Bukayo Saka at 75 million. So that should give you an idea. We cannot start the negotiation. Say the asking price for Nkunku is 50, in today's crazy market, and that's a lot. If Nkunku were a La Liga player or a Bundesliga player or a Serie A player, he's going for a cool 40 million.
Fact.
40 was the number on my mind.
I agree with that, actually. Yeah.
No, 40 was the number on my absolutely.
To be honest, I was going towards that 40, 50 million. But before we go back into Nkunku, I just want to give a shout out to somebody whom I love his comments. Guillaume said, I don't believe in love anymore. I don't believe in love either, man. Thank you for that. Let's continue on everything.
Christopher Nkunku
wait. Is it a producer?
No, you don't have to castigate him like that. Just know the name is Guillaume. We don't believe in love anymore. Love ruins our athleticism. It ruins a lot of stuff, man. That's the reason why me and Alex, we refuse to fall in love, like, with anybody.
But Cristiano Ronaldo is in love. Lionel Messi is in love.
Sorry?
They are both in love. Ronaldo is in love with Georgina.
No. They are not. I've spoken to these people. They are not in love. They just love their wives. But
You've
they are not.
spoken to Ronaldo and Messi and asked
Yes,
them.
now they are two different things. Bro, listen. There's a difference between being in love and loving. Two different things. But this is a sports show, so I'm not going to go into details. If you want to know more about it, go to loveklintoncod.com. And you see some of my materials on there, mate.
I don't know if you want to go there. I'm scared what's going to come up if you type that. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, as we talked about what could happen if Nottingham Forest win, we have to talk about what happens if Chelsea win, or if Bournemouth win, in fact, Alex, because Bournemouth are in 7th. They're 3 points behind Chelsea, so they could equalize there. All of these games, we're at that time of the season now where every team affects one another. It's all so close. As you guys can see here from the table, obviously Liverpool in first with 46 points, but then Arsenal and Forest tied for points. And then you have Chelsea with 36, and then Bournemouth 3 points behind in 7th place. So it's a lot. There's a lot of action tonight with all the teams. Man City in action, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Forest, Liverpool. So should be very exciting.
Yeah.
And it could all change by tomorrow when we come back and preview the North London derby.
Yeah. I'm also, I think Chelsea, they're obviously the favourites, but Bournemouth have been on really good form in the most recent 10 games. Only 1 defeat, 3 draws and 6 wins. They've been one of the informed teams in the Premier League, and I think Andoni Iraola has done a fantastic job at Bournemouth. They obviously lost Max Aarons recently to Valencia. They might be losing some more players in this January window, with Man United fishing around for their left back Kirkers. And I think when you look at the job he's done with the money that he has there, it's fantastic. And credit to him. And like you said, if they win, the results have to go their way. If they win, they go 4th.
It'll be interesting.
Which is, they do level on points with Chelsea.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. So we'll see what happens. Noni Madueke should be back for this one. He had picked up an illness. There seems to be a virus going around. I think actually we all had it at one point. The final Premier League match of the day is West Ham taking on Fulham, and we'll see Graham Potter in action for the first time with the Hammers. So that's always interesting. Maybe we could see a new manager bounce in this one. But let's finish off the show with some transfer talk. And let's start it off with the biggest one that broke relatively as this show started. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia is going to PSG. And let me tell you guys, I'm gutted about it. I loved him and Osimhen and that entire legacy that they had at Napoli. I love that Napoli is first in the Serie A. The resurgence of Napoli is historic in football, obviously because of Diego Armando Maradona, but I think seeing Napoli do well makes the neutral football fan happy because we know what that means for history. Seeing a player like Kvaratskhelia, who plays for Georgia, such a small team, you know, there were so many pieces of this, and now I see he's going to PSG. And Clinton, what do we know about PSG?
Well, we just know that they are like the Arsenal of.
Gary?
Oh,
I mean, everybody knows, right? When it comes to Champions League, they are like Netflix. You know, they would always wait for the next season.
You need a new joke. You say it too much.
to be honest, I think they're not Netflix. They are the cancelled show that doesn't have a next season.
Damn, bro.
Savage. Savage. Savage.
Well, that one is hard, man.
Sorry.
No, but it's hard. It's hard to see, obviously, PSG win a Champions League in the next couple of years. And now I see Kvara going there, and I'm just thinking, it's a bit
I don't know
gut-wrenching.
why would any player go to, like, any top player?
Also, you're in the Serie A, and now you're going to Liga.
Exactly,
as
like,
well.
why?
I'm sorry.
Who told you to do that in the first place? Like, who advises this player?
I mean,
It
there's
might
one-
be because of the
there's one
money, who
reason.
knows?
We all have a price.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, definitely, 100.
Gary, what do you make of
Because-
Kvara? Kvaradona no longer, actually. I'm not calling him that.
I think, what's he call it? Apart from PSG, I had not seen any top club being linked with him. Is that probably a reason why? So he wants to use PSG as a step up. He has a good season there, 2 good seasons there. He is the sort of player that you can see a Chelsea or an Arsenal or a Bayern Munich or, I mean, maybe a Barca. Not Real Madrid. They have too many in his position.
Arsenal were linked with him last summer, I think, weren't they? Or 2 summers ago.
Yes, but I'm talking about this window. Yeah, even last summer. So maybe he's not seen a certain level of interest, and he knows that, you know, he's had a couple of good seasons, but can't be sure what his asking price will be in the summer. And like you said, how much is he earning at Napoli? You know, he's got to look at the money side also, and he at PSG, he's going to rack up the numbers. He's going to have an absolute ball at PSG. I think we all know that.
Definitely.
So, yeah, he's going to have insane stats. And so, if I am him, I'm giving myself 2 good seasons in France, you know, rack up the stats, get myself a Ligue 1 title in the interim, maybe a French Cup, you know, if I was
how
bought
old
for
is he, by the
70
way?
million.
23.
Sorry?
Ah, come on.
He's still very
23?
Yeah.
As-
Bro, no, we need to start investigating these players, you know, like, why?
No, this is a 70 million. This is a 70 million euro player. You understand? And you're telling me Nkunku is what?
Yeah.
Excuse me, man.
I want to ask you guys, he has 5 goals and 3 assists in the Serie A until this point in the season. He's obviously now going to France. What do you think the numbers are going to be? If he has 5 and 3 in the Serie A, he has 5 more months to play with PSG. What numbers are we looking at, Alex? Goals and assists.
I'm going to say 20 plus.
Whoa,
Between 20 and
whoa.
25 goals.
Like, are you talking about in total or is just for PSG?
You're doing in total.
Yeah, in total. So
Yeah,
at the end
yeah.
of the season. So with PSG, I think he's going to get another 15 or so goals.
That's what I just want to hear what he's going to do at
And
PSG.
Assists, maybe another 7 or 8.
Okay, Clinton.
Maybe 5, actually.
I think I'll probably give him 10 goals in PSG and maybe, 6 assists, who knows?
Gary, you agree?
Yeah, I agree with Clinton. You look at the players they have at the moment, some pretty decent guys who can help him reach 10 goals before end of season.
Just keep crossing it to Bradley. Just keep going.
Well,
Just keep going.
January, February, March, April, May. 10 is a lot.
I'm curious to
Ten is
see
a lot.
what numbers he's going to put up though, with like what we know he's doing in the Serie A, because then we can have a very different conversation here.
I mean, for me, when I look at what he does at his Serie A, which I believe is more competitive than even the French league. Right?
Also, probably the most defensive league in the top 5.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So that's-
Absolutely. So coming into PSG now, where we know is, sorry to say, everybody will call it the Farmers League, but come on, like, what's there? He would always score. Yes, yeah, there are a couple of good teams there, and they've shown us that they are quite good in the Champions League so far. But it's when you look at the level of play that he's on currently and who he is, like, I think he would easily give this number. I mean, maybe not the 20 that Alex did mention, But, well, Alex, but when you said 20, you're talking about
Combined.
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 So I think
Okay,
he'll
okay,
get
okay,
another
okay,
15
okay,
goals.
okay. Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
maybe just around there then.
Alex, Matthias Tell, linked to Chelsea. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's, to be honest, I talk about him. Apparently, there's that swap deal that could happen with Nkunku going to Bayern and Tell coming to Chelsea. It feels like, you know, you're getting rid of. There is an analogy there to describe it, but you're scooping water out of your sinking boat to pour another cup in your sinking boat. It doesn't make sense. It's bringing in the same sort of player. I know it's, you know, they're different players, but I still think that the investment should be in the defence and not in the forward line, because they don't need a player like Tell. If you want a player like Tell, keep Nkunku.
Yeah.
Give Nkunku minutes. Let him play. I know Tell is a lot younger, and the potential there to improve could be, you know, unbelievable. But I'd much rather see him invest in a defender, and I think they'd be better off spending their money there.
Sorry, I just read some really unfortunate news. It has been confirmed that Gabriel Jesus has sustained an ACL injury, and he is done for the season.
Yeah, I think I had this before though.
I think it's like officially confirmed. It wasn't looking good, but the number, I need some people to start writing a book and doing some research about the number of ACL injuries that are happening this season, coinciding with the number of football games that are being played. Like, I mean, none of us are scientists or doctors here,
No.
and we can tell you
Don't worry, guys.
they go together. They're absolutely relevant to one another.
Don't worry, this is Jesus, man. He's gonna come back in it.
All right, let's see. Clinton, one for you here. Nkunku is better than Nicholas Jackson.
Oof.
Huh?
Christopher Nkunku is better than Nicholas Jackson?
You see, when it comes to the finishing, right? I think I would definitely give it to Nkunku. But Nkunku, Nicholas Jackson, when he's on form, right, he's a whole different player. Okay? When he starts being Jackson and taking away the Nicholas, right? That's when the problem starts. Yeah, that, you know, when you start seeing him not scoring the kind of goals you would expect him to score on a good day, and because the truth is, Nicholas Jackson isn't that bad of a player, right? When he's on form, he's crazy. Like, you will literally choose him over any player. You will be like, wow, okay, this guy is literally very good. But when he's not, and you can still say the same for Nkunku as well. Sometimes Nkunku is not playing. Like, when he first started with Chelsea, right? A lot of us, you Chelsea fans, you felt like, hang on, where is Nkunku that we knew from Bayern? Like, where is he hiding? You know? Like, bro. So, I can't really tell you. The both of them, they do have quality in them, right? But the question is, how consistent can they carry on that quality for? Yes, Nicholas Jackson scored and he was able to shut Mikel Obi up, and Mikel Obi was like, yeah, this is what I want. Now, Mikel Obi actually had to come up to say, okay, I need to insult you again so that we need to bring out that Nicholas Jackson. Why? Because it was almost like he went downhill again, and where is he? These are the questions. So I think it's a very, I don't know how to put that argument, man.
I think, for me, the big thing about Nicholas Jackson is last season supposedly wasn't a good season. He still scored 14 goals in the Premier League, which, for a striker in their first season in the top flight in England, it's not bad.
Yeah.
He's got 9 and 19 this season, 3 assists. Could quite easily reach 20 or more goals this season. I wouldn't be surprised if he reached 20. I think, yes, obviously it's difficult to say because Nkunku hasn't been given the same opportunities at Chelsea as Jackson had. But I think I really like the way that Nicholas Jackson is developing as a player at Chelsea, and I think he's been one of the star men, and the way he links up with Cole Palmer, it's a match made in heaven.
Yeah. Clinton, your boy, Ander Herrera,
Yep.
has gone to Boca Juniors.
I mean,
I love this. I love this.
I
This
love
is just,
this. Yeah,
this is
a very
we're
hipster,
just
a
having
very
a good
hipster
time at this
signing.
point.
Yeah.
We're going to Argentina. We're joining the biggest club there. We're going to eat good.
Yeah.
We're having a party. That's it. It doesn't matter. This is such
Summer all year long.
Yeah. I'm literally, this is retirement move, and I'm so here for it because also, I mean, he is a bigger name, let's say, over here in Europe. We know that he's been all over, and people obviously know who he is, and him going to Boca, that's going to bring some potential European attraction to them. They know what they're doing, but I think this is great. Great move. He's going to have a great time.
I mean,
That's it.
you get to this point in your career. What else are you looking for at the end of the day? What have you not done?
How old is he now? Sorry. How old is he?
37?
No, I don't think he's that old. He's 35.
He's
35.
35. See, I mean, he looks younger than Kvaratskhelia.
Wait, what do what do you mean?
Looks
I
like he's
said
got 10
37 and you say it's not that old. 37 and 35 is only like 2 years.
It
3
looks
years
like
apart.
he's got 10 years on you.
Whatever, mate. Now the truth is, when you look at he looks like my uncle, right?
Well, I won't get that far.
No, but for real though, when you look at them, he actually does. For real. Like people think I'm 27 sometimes. So what you on about?
Oh.
So anyways,
They
The
do.
question, who?
They do.
of course they do. A lot of people do. I mean, at least white people think I am 27.
I'm white and I don't.
I can't believe Alex is suddenly finding his voice on this show today. What is going? Wait, is it?
That's it.
No!
Wow, Alex, man. Okay. Okay.
I'm calling a spade, Alex. I love that. Let's wrap it up here with Daniel Malen also signed for Aston Villa yesterday, 23 million in that one. I think this is a good move for him. We obviously saw he had a good season last season with Dortmund and that so close yet so far Champions League run they obviously had. But Gary, now he's coming over to the Premier League, to an Aston Villa that everyone's very intrigued with. Unai Emery has done great things with this side. We know the capability that these players have. What do you think about Malen and kind of just furthering his career with this move?
I think it's great. It's Villa is the perfect place for him. I'm not sure exactly how, he's going to acclimatize or what's the word again, gel, from the beginning. I think he will need time, but I think it's a good career move for him.
Alex?
I think good, especially when you look at the squad depth that Aston Villa have in that position. Arguably, the only out-and-out right winger they have is Leon Bailey. I think he's, providing good cover for Leon Bailey, who I think is a really good player. He's not quite had the smashing start to the Bundesliga season that he would have wanted, but a move to the Premier League, I think the way that Unai Emery is building his squad at Aston Villa, I've been really impressed with what he's done there. And I think it's a sensible signing and good business from Aston Villa I think this is what January, if you're a well-run club, January should be for just bolstering your squad, picking up a player that you need to add depth to that squad. And I think Aston Villa have done a very smart piece of business there.
Clinton, anything you want to add on this one?
Definitely not.
Okay, absolutely brilliant. We're just having a good time over here. All right, before we go, let's end off with a little trivia question for the three of you guys. And we'll bring it back to the Serie A. We started in the Serie A. We're going to come right back because we have a big match tonight.
No, but hold on. Let's give a shout out to Guillaume because he just said one truth that none of you ever say on this show before. He said, actually, I thought, no, listen to it. I thought,
He never once thought this.
wait, hang on.
Why are you lying?
thought,
Guillaume? Why are you lying?
No, but he's saying the truth though. He said, I thought Lamine Yamal and Clinton were 17 years young.
Guillaume, don't ever insult Lamine Yamal like that again.
No, but you see, this is my problem with people on this show, right? I feel like you guys have
I thought he was 46. Sorry, I'm just reading all of these now.
Are you listening to a French man? Like, come on, man. If there's any, tell me one thing that's tell me one authentic thing that's ever come out from France.
Kylian Mbappe, your favorite player for Real Madrid?
I mean, he's not been authentic, as such, Fam, not even my ex. Nothing is authentic.
Okay, wow. Okay, back to
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, oh.
All right, I didn't say that, though. Hope this doesn't go online.
Wow.
Wow,
On YouTube, Facebook, TikTok.
run. Okay.
Yeah, if you ever thought you needed glasses, I can confirm you do need glasses.
He doesn't. He's just saying, listen, he's the only
Like,
one person
serious.
that says the truth online. Jesus Christ, man. Sometimes you guys should just embrace the truth.
All right, let's end it with the trivia because this is...
All right, go on.
There are two. There are two answers. Who are the two top scorers in the Serie A as it stands?
Woof.
One of them is Ketteler.
Not even close.
Really? Oh, Retegui. Sorry, it's Retegui.
Retegui is one.
Retegui
Feel
is
free
one.
to shout out answers, Gary.
Lautaro Martinez is
Nope.
the other one? No.
Retegui and...
Nope. I would have gone Retegui and Lautaro, but
It's...
I don't know. Tell us.
No.
No, hang on. Wait.
Lautaro
I'll
is
tell
10th,
you.
by the way.
No, I'll tell you the other one, actually. I think I know.
I didn't
This is
want
where
to
you say the answer.
Come on, Sarah. Come on, Sarah.
Give us a clue.
Give us a clue, yeah. What team?
Inter.
What team?
Inter.
Oh, come on, man.
Is
It's,
it
what's it
Marcus
called?
Thuram?
It is Marcus
Yeah,
Thuram.
Marcus
Where is
Thuram,
he
yeah.
from? France. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure.
That's like,
It's been an absolute...
Clinton, is Marcus Thuram
Clinton digs
authentic
his own
French
holes,
enough?
and it's great for me. All right, guys. That's it for us today. Remember, Atalanta, Juve this evening on Sporty TV. That's a big one. We're going to come back and review that tomorrow. We're going to preview the North London derby. Barcelona are playing Real Betis tomorrow. So lots and lots and lots of football. We'll be back again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Until then, enjoy the football.
Emwe. Tete. Tete.